And I was astounded at what actually happened back there. Oh man, so we've got 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. There's a forecast of persistent rain, and I've packed the wrong frigging rain cover for my bag. This is for my smaller green Mindshift photography bag, and I mean, look at this. I've kind of stretched it around the edges, and I mean, it looks just about okay, you know. But all is well, because A, we are in the Lake District National Park, if you can't tell by the rain. B, we're doing a Wainwright, and C, it gets better, trust me, I'm trying to hide it. We've got the Nikon Z7 back, ladies and gents, I'm buzzing, and the 24 to 200mm lens, so this is the perfect adventure to have a nice outing once again with my beloved Nikon Z7. It's so nice to put it back, man. It feels like I've got a new camera. So this afternoon we're hiking up a Wainwright called Haycock. He's just shy of 800 meters, which is around about 2,600 feet. And there's a beck down here in the valley, you may be able to see down there some cascades, called Nether Beck, and we're pretty much following that beck nearly all the way to the top, to be honest. And of course, I'm going to keep the eyes peeled for some photographs on the way up. Oh, so this is lovely now, because in this valley, we're just being so sheltered from all of that horrible wind by this big lump here. I think this is Middle Fell, which I believe I have been up as part of my Wainwright series. But yeah, cheers, mate. It is pleasant. And as I'm walking up the path here, the hiking track, I'm just keeping an eye on our little beck, or looks almost like a gill here. It's fantastic. And just seeing if it's worth heading down the bank here at any stage to get the camera out. The Nikon Z7. Oh, so the waterfalls, man, they look amazing. I'm just gonna get the camera out here. Waterfalls only, what, 20 meters, a bit further down this track. But I'm loving the look of these. These kind of like, I've just knocked a load of the frigging drops off them. This is the one that I'm thinking of photographing anyway. They just look fantastic. These vibrant green oak leaves saturated in all of this rain, these raindrops. So worth a punt, I think. Wow, has anybody clocked onto that? I think that is so interesting. If you've no idea what I'm on about, this image that I just took there of the waterfall was shot at 1/6 of a second handheld. What is going on? What's going on? I have always had this concrete belief that I must never shoot longer than 1/30th of a second with my Nikon Z7 handheld, because the image will just be blurry. And to be honest, I don't really know why I attempted it then. I think over the past couple of months, as so many of you know, I've been shooting with my little OM system OM5, and the image stabilization on that is so good that I've just not needed to use a tripod. So I think it was like a little bit of muscle memory. I was like, can't be bothered getting the tripod out, let's just see how slow I could shoot. And it forced me to try taking a handheld image at 1/6 of a second, and I just think that is so interesting. I just feel like that proper brings up this topic of, I wonder if really early on when we get a new camera or a new piece of gear, equipment, whatever, we make these rules just like that one. Never shoot slower than 1/30th of a second. And then that's it then. You might never ever try it again. I mean, I guess at one stage, a couple of years ago, I must have taken an image at, I don't know, 1/20th of a second, 1/15th, 1/6 of a second, maybe, like that image. And it was blurry, the image was blurry. So from then on, I thought, I can't shoot any slower than 1/30th of a second. But it must be wrong, unless my hands are just proper steady, because I've been so used to shooting handheld and I've like, I don't know, grown some special muscles that I'm like rock hard at holding the frigging camera steady. I don't know what's going on there. That's really interesting. I'd love to ask you that question. Have you ever like done that out and about where you've surprised yourself and, you know, one of these rules that you've made up in your head has just been broken on the spot? That's mad. I don't think that's ever happened to me as a photographer. Anyway, we're not making much progress here because this place is so freaking beautiful, man. So I've decided to actually move on away from them waterfalls because, well, I just want to crack on with the hike really. And it kind of reminds me of how it has always been during these Wainwrights, these hikes is, you know, I want to stop and enjoy something every 2 minutes it seems, but sometimes I've got to tell myself, mate, no, you've got to carry on. It was just one of them. Also, I was a little bit freaked out. I took this image of the waterfall. I don't know if the photograph itself is any good. It looked all right actually, but I was just playing around with the image stabilization again. And I was astounded at what actually happened back there. This image was once again shot at 1/6 of a second. However, I was zoomed in at 125 millimeters. Now, if you zoom in, it gets much more difficult for your camera to stabilize that photograph without a tripod. So that's even more unbelievable for me. And yeah, look, I just think it's so interesting how you can like draw these conclusions on your gear, on your camera, and then never try it ever again. You know, it's opened my eyes a bit, that has. Anyway, right, onwards with this hike now, a bit further up into the valley. I want to make a little bit of progress. And yeah, let's see if anything else freaks me out with the camera. Nikon, what have you done to my camera? It's been beyond a repair. I've got a friggin' super camera, it seems. It's just such a like classic Lakeland view. Cascades, trees, nice little gill, you know, cloud, no light, nice ridge line, distant waterfalls, and then just loads of herdwicks dotted round just staring at us. Absolute love them, but they are just freaks, man. I've got no food for yous. In fact, I've got a tuna and sweet corn sandwich, but you're not having any of that. I'll have some of that in a sec. Now, we're probably about halfway up towards today's Wainwright, Haycock. And interestingly, you can't really see this fell from many places in the Lake District. And Wainwright actually mentions this in his guide, that Haycock, even though it's a relatively big mountain by Lake District standards, at just shy of 800 metres, like I mentioned earlier, the thing is, he kind of gets lost in the midst of a load of other fells. He's like diluted amidst loads of other hills, for want of a better word. And it's interesting, I think, because there are a lot of fells dotted around the lakes, like Loughrig Fell, Castle Crag, the smallest Wainwright, and then Side Pike even. Like these small hills, really, that are so prominent because of just purely where they're situated. And I don't know, it's almost like it's a little bit of a shame that there are these fells that almost get forgotten. And that's one thing, to be fair, that I really love about Wainwright's guides, is that it almost brings life to these fells that a lot of hill walkers might never go to. I think he actually mentions that specifically about Haycock. Now, I was just about to mention that we've had our first glimpse of Haycock. However, upon having a little scour of the Ordnance Survey maps, that prominent peak that you can see there is actually called Great Lad Crag, and he sits actually quite far in front of Haycock, so we can't see him at all yet. So yeah, he's quite an elusive fell, it seems. So all we could do is keep on heading up this hiking track, and I probably will stop for my sandwich soon enough because I'm getting a little bit hungry. Right, I'm gonna have a quick stop here. I thought this was a good perch. Where am I putting my bottom here? I'm gonna stop for my sandwich. Hang on, let me show you this. I just completely lied to my beloved Herdwicks. It wasn't tuna and sweet corn. It is chicken. We've got a chicken sandwich, ladies and gents. Chicken, bacon, you can see what I did there, and stuffing. It's because I was weighing up my options in Tesco, and I think sweet tuna and sweet corn was on the cards. Anyway, before I munch away, I'd love to say to you that I have 3 ebooks available for purchase, and any purchases of those ebooks are greatly appreciated. It helps to fund what I do here, come out and film these videos, and I'm so grateful. I've had really good feedback of all 3 of them. I've got one ebook that is on landscape photography composition. I've got a second ebook that is on landscape photography locations in Scotland, and I've got a third ebook that is on landscape photography locations here in the Lake District. Like I said, any purchases I appreciate very, very much. Time for my chicken sandwich. Look at this. They're at it again, man. They're at it again. I've got no tuna for you. I've got no chicken for you either. It's all gone. Wow, look at that. I mean, yes, the low cloud isn't great, it's weighing on my mind a little bit because I know I'm going to be up in it at some point, but oh, that just looks epic, man. So wild and remote feeling. Oh, it's moments like these when I realise how much I have missed being in the fell. It's so dark. Epic, man. Mad for that, mad for it. We're now on pretty much the final ascent. It's been, you can see that sort of plane down it, it's been quite flat for a while, and now this is, I guess this is gonna, whoa, that was a big puddle. This is gonna be the steepest part now. But yeah, like I said, I don't know, probably only about 10% of the hike left, something like that. And, oh, you know, to get to the summit. And this little section here, craggy, he's called Little Lad Crag. So we had Great Lad Crag, and this is the Little Lad. You all right, lad? Do you want any chicken? I'm overdoing that one, aren't I? So, yeah, not long to go. In terms of the photography, ooh, I mean, look at that. That looks incredible, doesn't it? Beautiful. And then we just keep getting little gaps of brightness every now and again. But yeah, generally it's sort of like this, a little bit grey and kind of uninspiring. But we'll keep the eyes peeled, as always. So there we go. That was quite quick. We are in the clag. Let's see how long this lasts. Hopefully not too long. So we're nearly there. We've just got to get up to, I can just see it there. Mate, I mean no harm. Freaking hell, man. Got to get up to this dry stone wall. I feel bad on him, like. Oh, look, he's all right now. Yeah, he's jogging away, he's fine. Once we get to the dry stone wall, believe me, through all of that clag, there's one tiny little ascent. We must be 2 or 3 minutes away from the top. So we are, I mean, we're almost there. There's one cairn here, And there is another one over there, which I need to get to because this one's on the northern side of the dry stone wall, and Wainwright says this one has slightly more elevation, so I guess that's technically the summit of Haycock. Oh yes, so I mean, what do we touch here? There we go, the summit of Haycock. You beauty. It is horrendous up here, isn't it? Oh, I don't say that often. What a shame. I mean, to be honest, I have to say this, I do quite like being in Clag and stuff. I mean, obviously it's not great, I wouldn't pick it, but there's something about the kind of lifelessness that it brings. I was thinking about this on the way up, it's just dead, isn't it? Like, calm and peaceful, especially as I was coming up through that valley really, where there was none of this wind, and the wind's not even too bad up here. But yeah, I mean, I can't lie, I would always prefer the views. I'm just going to start heading straight back down, man. I mean, it's always nice to get to the top of a Wainwright, but I mean, goodness me, there's just no point in staying up here, is there? For goodness sake, man. Do you know what? I was feeling quite positive and I thought I'll sit up here and relax for a bit and just waiting to see if the Clag clicks. Still got like 3 hours till sunset, you know. I thought I'm up here now. So I sat on this little dry stone wall here and I've spent about 40 minutes trying to do a live stream to YouTube just for a little bit of fun. And for the life of me, man, I just couldn't get it to work. By the end of it, I think it might have just been my signal's not good enough. But anyway, it's kind of sucked the life out of me a bit and I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go home and get some tea. There is a video from me hiking up a Wainwright, doing some landscape photography, if you haven't seen it already. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mad little discovery with the Nikon Z7 that has blown my mind. I'll see you on the next adventure. Out!